Welcome back to Straight from the Agent podcast. I am Johnny B. Good, the flip-flop agent, and I'm highly caffeinated. Joined by my man,
Connery, Calkins.
Are you highly caffeinated?
I'm going to see God today.
In your mind or like legit?
I don't know. I still have to finish this coffee, but we're
Look at you. You even got a cute little straw.
I do. I got the
so you
little
don't
metal
burn
straw.
your lips.
It's a nice coffee, too.
It makes it impossible to be friends with you when you do things like that. But that's neither here nor there.
You're not the first person to tell me that.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Well, we're back. So last week we had a really fun episode talking about some of the comments that we received. Mm-hmm. So I think my favorite comment was just vampire.
Yep.
No context. Zero context. And they just said vampire. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun with it. Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't take our jobs very seriously.
No.
He does what he does. I do what I do. I mean, it is what it is.
Sell some houses here and there.
We just want to have some fun.
Yeah.
And that's why we started this podcast.
Yep.
We wanted to make learning about real estate mildly more engaging.
Yeah.
This isn't something where like, yeah, I'm super pumped up to learn about this.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you're in the market and you're thinking about selling, you're thinking about buying, you're thinking about doing both.
Yep.
This isn't a bad place for you to end up to like have a reasonable conversation and maybe a little bit of education, and you learn something about something you didn't know.
Yeah. It's like going to school and you have that teacher that's extremely monotone.
Yeah.
Just talking about math.
Yeah.
Now, I've had teachers like that, and I've also had teachers that were very, just they had fun with it.
Engaging.
That's the word.
We understand that the content's not like, wow.
Yeah.
But if you're kind of in the world of real estate, where you're thinking about, maybe you're looking at an investment property.
Yeah.
Maybe you're looking to buy. Maybe you need to sell and you're moving out of state or whatever. You're probably going to be able to pick up some tidbits here.
Yeah.
And that's never a bad thing.
Exactly.
More education, more exposure, even if you have a different agent. And it sparks something.
A conversation.
In your mind that says, what about this perspective? Why don't we add this to the offer?
Yeah.
We're here to be a resource and we want to educate you guys.
Exactly.
A more educated consumer is better for the entire market.
There will be a test at the end of the podcast.
There will be a test.
Yes.
Multiple choice, though. We're not monsters.
Oh, yeah, true.
And also, I'm not reading essays from people.
I was not a very good student, so
that's
it'll be a very easy test.
It's not surprising at all.
Nope.
Real estate tends to land a lot of those.
Exactly. Oh, you can't spell or do math. You're going to be a realtor.
Sure it's not a realtor? Okay, enough. Let's get down to brass tacks. You've got a question from the buyers?
I do.
Let's see what you got. Hit me with it.
Number 50.
Ooh, we went from first to worst.
Yep.
Well, first to last.
How can buying a home help build wealth?
Oh, brilliant. We talked about that a little bit last week.
Yep.
Man, everything just plays into everything else.
Yep.
Almost like this was planned. But show them the hat. It's filled with a bunch. See? We're not just being crazy here and trying to set this up.
Can I say that we are sponsored by castor oil?
No.
Okay.
I haven't received a check. Have you?
I have not.
Well, then we aren't sponsored by anybody. All right, so read it again.
How can buying a home help build wealth?
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. How can buying a home help build wealth? Well, wealth is a ethereal term.
Yep.
Wealth is different to everybody. But let's just talk about the fact that when you buy a home, depending on whether you put a minimal amount down, you're putting 20, 30, 40, 50% down, and we've all had clients that have done that.
Yep.
Both you and I. At the end of the day, you have to maintain your home. You've got to treat it as an investment.
Yes.
You can't treat living in a home like living in an apartment.
Yeah.
You got to maintain the exterior. Think of the exterior of your home like the exterior of your body.
Yes.
In theory, I'm going to jump out on a limb here and assume that if you're watching this, all of you take a shower every day. Take a bath. You want to enjoy your filth cauldron, so be it. But you're making an effort every day to clean your body.
Yes.
Your house is very similar. You need to maintain the exterior siding, exterior brick.
The roof.
You have to maintain the roof, whether it's metal, whether it's asphalt shingles, whether it's new rubber shingles, terracotta, whatever it is, you have to maintain that.
Yes.
You have to ensure that you're getting plenty of water away from your home.
It makes it so much easier to sell when your house has been taken care of.
Yes.
The amount of buyers that are just blown away when the house is clean. Because there's so many houses out there where it's just, now granted, yes, the houses are lived in.
Yeah.
They may have a dog, they may have
Sure.
kids, but just take the 20 minutes to tidy up the house, clean it before the showings, because that was one of the things that we noticed when we bought our house was, wow, these people took care of their home. They had pride in this house.
Right.
It's clean. Now, granted, I'm a clean freak, so there's nothing on my counters.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just the type of person I am.
Yep.
But
I have 4 kids and a wife. There's shit everywhere in my house. But I like to throw things in drawers or just throw things away. So yeah, you're exactly right.
yeah,
though.
just it helps attract buyers when the house is clean.
So when you look at it from a wealth perspective, so much of the money that you can earn on your home is twofold.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, you're paying down your loan balance.
Yes.
So if you have, let's just use simple numbers. You buy $100,000 home, okay? You put 10% down, so your mortgage is $90,000.
Yep.
Okay? So over the term of that loan, a $90,000 mortgage over 30 years, you're always paying your interest up front.
Yep.
Previous episodes, we talked about making a 13th payment.
Yep.
And then maybe paying a little bit of principal every month if you have the ability.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of us, we're living paycheck to paycheck. You know, it's tough out there in them streets, as they say. And I respect that. But if you are fortunate enough to have a little bit of extra money, that can help pay down your mortgage that much quicker. That's going to increase your wealth base.
Yes.
Okay. Then secondly, you're also looking at the appreciation in the market. There isn't a standard appreciation level you're going to see on homes.
Because it varies.
It varies so much. It depends.
It depends.
It depends. Glad we got that out of the way in the first couple of minutes. But if you're in a moderate cost of living area, but you've got a good school district, you know, there's good infrastructure maintenance being done, you know, it's in a high demand area.
Yeah.
You know, you got a little bit of space. Maybe you're in a high demand neighborhood. You're close to downtown. There's just so many factors.
Yeah.
But you could see a 5 to 10, even to 15% increase in those values.
Yeah.
And we've seen home values
skyrocket.
Well,
kind of going off of that, if you kind of going back to your first home isn't necessarily going to be your forever home. Get a house that, like, so what I was looking for personally, and depending on the client that I work with, it's what's the resale value going to be?
Right. Which is impossible to
impossible to determine.
Yeah.
But if you can turn a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, or a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, finish the basement, you're obviously going to make money on that investment if the market continues to increase. Now, if there's a crash, obviously not. But
there's always going to be pullbacks. There's always adjustments to the market. It always happens. But that's why you need to have long-term vision.
Yeah.
You know, right now, I mean, and let's talk about that as well. The short-term vision, like people, and I always ask my buyers, I'm like, what's your goal for being in this home?
Yeah.
You know, are we talking 5 years or less? Are we talking 5 years or more? Are we talking 15 years plus?
Yeah.
And that, again, is hard to forecast. Our plan is X, whatever that plan is. 5 years or less, you might not make that much money.
Yeah.
But if you go 10 years plus, now
it increases.
Now you're looking at having a third of your mortgage paid off. You're looking at potentially having an increase in your home values over that 10 years, whatever that may be. So there's just so many factors that play into it, but wealth creation because of real estate is a real thing.
100%.
As we look at our parents and we look at the boomer generation, which we talked about in previous episodes.
Yep.
You know, they got into a house for 30, 40, 50, even $100,000.
Yep.
Well, that house nowadays is 4, 5, 10x what they originally purchased it for.
My parents bought I think it was like 2012-ish, bought a foreclosure home for $175,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home.
Yeah.
On like 3 acres.
Right.
They have turned it into a 4-bedroom, 3.5-bath.
Right.
Added a pole barn, which does give some value.
Yeah.
Not an extreme amount, but it does give value. And their home now is worth upwards of $500,000.
Right.
And
that's what I mean. And that's what I mean. So there's a lot of opportunities for this, but real estate is one of the most consistent wealth creation vehicles that are available today.
Because you get a house that's well within your means, you fix it up, if the market increases, you sell it for a profit, use that money to get a bigger home, a more expensive home, to where you can start doing the same thing.
Or a smaller home.
Or you can downsize, and just have money to, like we talked about last week, just beat out all the first-time home buyers because you're coming in cash over asking.
Right.
With no contingencies, because you can and you made the right choices leading up to it.
Well, and what that gives you is optionality.
Yeah.
It gives you an option to make those choices, whether it's a bigger home, whether it's a smaller home, what have you.
Yeah.
You know, my wife and I, we went through all the same conversations during COVID.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, are we going to sell our house and go get some land and build something new and da-da-da-da-da. My wife's in banking.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously in real estate. So we kind of ran the numbers.
Yeah.
I said, okay, vacant land, this price.
Yep.
To build, it's going to be this much per square foot. This is the type of house you want. And it just didn't pencil out.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense for us. But we had the opportunity to be able to add on to our existing home.
Okay.
And kind of turn that into what we envision as our forever home.
Okay.
So again, the optionality is what leads us to have, these conversations and say, okay, yep, we're going to be able to do this. And by the time my kids graduate high school, I'm going to have the house paid off.
Yeah.
And then maybe we want to buy a vacation home.
Yeah.
Maybe we want to buy something down south.
Yep.
Or maybe one of our kids gets a full ride scholarship to go play out on one of the coasts somewhere.
Yeah.
And we want to have something out there. We could absolutely do that.
Yep.
Anything's a possibility. But the vehicle we've used for our wealth creation has been our home.
Exactly.
And we're going to be able to parlay those options into future opportunities, which I think are fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's why I think as an industry, we encourage that so much because it really is the basis for American wealth creation.
And we're not even, and we'll probably dive into this in later episodes, but we're not even talking about the investing side of things.
No.
This is just owning a home, building equity, and building wealth that way. Investing is a whole nother avenue that you could go down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whether it's fix and flips, whether it's buy
Rentals.
and holds and make them rentals, there's a lot of opportunities out there. And one thing they're not making more of is land.
Yeah.
Land is a finite resource.
I've got an investor who that's all he does is land.
Yeah.
He buys and holds land and sells it.
Yeah. And it's a brilliant strategy.
Yeah.
It really is a brilliant strategy.
Depending on the size of the lot.
Yeah, of course.
If you buy a little quarter-acre lot in downtown Flint or in Saginaw,
there's always winners and losers.
Yeah.
But that's where a smart investment strategy comes into play.
Yep.
All right.
Next question.
Jump into it. Here we go. I don't know. What are we going to talk about today, my man? I got my nice spring shirt on, like feeling a little Eastery.
It was snowing yesterday, dude.
Oh, shut up. All right. Not looking. And here we go. Bum, bum, bum. Oh. You went from number 50. I went number 2.
Okay.
When is the best time to sell my house?
Can I say it?
Please.
It depends. When?
Okay. So let's dive into this.
Yeah.
The best time to sell your house, if we take all of the external situational factors inside of your household and get rid of them.
Yeah.
And we just say, looking at it from an industry perspective.
Yep.
Right now. Right now is the best time to sell your home.
Yes.
Maybe even about 4 weeks ago.
Exactly.
Because, and again, I'm talking hyper local.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here in Michigan, we're in this transitory seasonal stage where we're moving out of winter into spring. And so the spring market basically flips a switch across the entire United States.
Yeah.
But here in Michigan specifically,
because of the snow and nobody wants to go outside and see houses, it slows down dramatically.
It really does. Unless you're like in the weeds and you have to buy something.
Well, that's kind of
or
a good.
You have to sell.
That's a good point. So, I've had from what I've seen, it's not necessarily bad to sell in the winter.
No.
Because granted, and I'll explain this to my sellers, it's all situational, of course.
Yeah.
But if they have to sell in the winter, it's not a bad choice because one, you're not going to get as many showings.
Sure.
All of those showings are going to be extremely motivated buyers.
Right.
Because they are looking to buy and looking to buy now. The competition is less.
Yep.
the inventory is typically less as well.
Yeah.
So buyers have a better chance of
Yep.
purchasing in the winter.
Yep.
But for the most bang for your buck,
Right.
spring.
Well, and when spring has sprung, right, that's when people want to be out. Because
Yeah.
again, we all feel it. You know, I'm prone to seasonal affective disorder with the best of them. You know, so when we start seeing a little bit of sunshine, we hear the birds chirping, trees are starting to get buds,
Yep.
and you're like, oh my God, I finally feel alive again. Everybody wants to get out and do things.
Yeah.
You know, and people have done a lot of talking, a lot of discussing over the winter, like, oh, what do you think? What about this? What about
Yeah.
that? But that's where a lot of it comes into planning. You know, if you called me up and said, hey, Johnny, I'm thinking about, you know, buying a house.
Yep.
Well, when are you thinking? Well, you know, setting a plan in place and maybe talking to an agent or talking to a mortgage broker 6 months prior.
Yeah.
That's a good thing because now you've got a plan. Now you know what you're looking for. You've refined your searches a little bit.
Yep.
And so you're going to hit the ground running. But at the end of the day, the best time to sell your house. So we're getting rid of the
internal factors of
let's
divorce, job
bring
change.
the internal factors back into it.
Okay.
It depends.
Yeah.
It's all situationally based. You know, and that's what I tell people. It's like, well, I don't want to sell this time of year. Well, sometimes it doesn't matter.
If your home is priced well,
Yes.
it's in good condition,
Yep.
it will sell any time of the year.
That's right.
Now,
And
it
let's-
may take
and-
a little longer
And
in
let's
the
be
winter.
very clear. If the Federal Reserve is open somewhere across this beautiful country of ours, there's a
Houses.
house closing.
Yeah, every day.
Houses close Monday through Friday, every week, every month,
Yep.
every year. There's always some type of real estate transaction happening at any point in the day.
As long as the Fed's open.
As long as the Fed's open.
Yep.
So for me, that just tells me, hey, if now's the right time to sell, then we need to sell.
Yeah.
If there's something that's pushing you and driving you to say, I have to sell, there's no time like the present.
Yeah. Well, I've got a listing it's very beginning stages, but
Sure.
again, it's all situational. We're probably going to list it in July
Right.
because that's what works best for the sellers.
Right.
I have a listing that's going to be coming soon in May. That works best for my sellers.
Right.
But again, if they could sell now, they would, but
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense for them to sell right now.
Right. Yeah. And that's where it comes back to. It
Depends.
depends. It absolutely depends. There's no hard and steadfast rule. I will say, ideally, if you want to get the most engagement with your property,
Yeah.
and you could basically spin a wheel with all of the 12 months, ideally, I make the recommendation. And this again goes back to these sellers that are planners.
Yep.
Right? My people.
Yeah.
My people that are planners, if they say, listen, we could sell at any point in the future, when is the best time?
Yeah.
I would say that having it on the market, ready to go in like that first or second week of March is perfect.
Yeah.
Because all it takes is one nice weekend.
People
All
are
it takes
out.
is one nice weekend, and all of a sudden you've got 12 showings.
Yep.
Back to back to back. You're locked in. You've got to go get a hotel.
Yep.
Because the entire weekend is just packed with showings.
Exactly.
That's a good problem to have, and that's not uncommon for what we're seeing in the market this year.
Yeah,
And
right
what
now.
we've seen in markets past.
Yeah.
So that's usually my recommendation. If there's no other external factors that are playing into it, and you tell me I could list at any point in time in the next 12 months,
Yeah.
that's when I recommend people sell.
Yep. Agreed.
But the real God's honest truth is right now.
Yeah.
If you're ready and you got to move, right now is the best time to sell.
Yeah. Call me. Don't call him.
He's a baby. He's literally a baby.
I'm pushing 30.
We were talking yesterday. We were, our broker, Ryan, and we were looking at your website.
Okay.
And so we were on there, and your little picture, because you just got some new headshots taken.
I did.
I'm like, it looks like a freshman is cosplaying as a real estate professional. I'm like, I need to talk to this boy and tell him, like, when you look at the number on the shirt, like, you're not supposed to be able to fit multiple fingers in around your collar.
I went, made sure I talked to the people at Men's Warehouse. They said it looked good.
Okay.
No, granted.
I mean, the mustache, as much as I loathe your mustache, it does help
Yeah.
because, again, you do look like a fake mustache, and like a 15-year-old kid cosplaying as like, I'm going to go as my dad. He's a real estate professional.
Thanks for tuning in to Straight from the Agent. See you next week.
I mean, but it's interesting,
Right.
how everybody gravitates towards everybody else.
And I've always been, in my past careers, the youngest person in the room.
Sure, of course.
That's just always what I've been,
Yep.
in both industries, in fitness and in real estate. And it has come and bite me in the butt. I've had people say, hey, we're not comfortable with you selling our home because you don't
look like
have
a toddler.
They didn't say it exactly that way, but you're young, and I could have been like, well, that's bullshit. But I mean,
Yeah.
your choice is your choice.
That's right.
My numbers, my production speak for me.
Right.
If you guys don't feel comfortable because I'm significantly younger, that's totally fine.
Right.
You probably would have been a headache client to deal with
Sure.
throughout the transaction.
And at the end of the day, I don't get upset
Yeah.
if somebody doesn't want to conduct business with me. I might spend a half day being irritated.
Yeah.
But then it's onward and upward, man.
Yep.
I got to get back to work.
I just had a lease deal fall apart same
Yeah.
day. We had everything squared away, but I could either sit back and be pissed about it
Sure.
for a week,
Yep.
and not do any more business. That is
Right.
going to make me $0.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I think in this industry specifically, you have to have a short memory.
Yeah.
You can't take things personally. You got to have thick skin. And again, it's just onward and upward.
Yeah.
You got to,
Can't get mad at comments.
no. Yeah, vampire. All right. Well, I think that's pretty good for this episode. I tried to stay timely. Okay, we're just a hair over 20 minutes.
Okay, we're getting better.
That's pretty good considering, because we were getting a little heavy-handed in some previous episodes.
You and I can yap.
We have a tendency to yap. That is correct. All
But
right.
we are type A.
Ain't that the truth? Well, for my baby-faced co-host, this has been Straight from the Agent. I am Johnny B. Good, the flip-flop agent, joined by...
The significantly younger Connery Calkins.
Also meaning less experience, so call me. Thank you for checking in with us, listening to this week's episode. We'll be back with more shenanigans. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Get this shit out of my face.